Welcome back to the Ross Bolen podcast. I am the aforementioned host, here as always with our co-host, Jared Borislow. J-Bone, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
But how are you?
Emotionally destroyed, trust issues, small penis.
Wow, okay, that was very personal, almost too personal, even for this show, which is really saying something.
It is. You said a lot of shit on this show.
Jared, guess what today is?
No.
It's National Puppy Day.
Oh, in the year of the dog, no less.
Yeah, since it's the year of the dog here on RBP, obviously we must acknowledge this. Apparently it's a holiday that was established to draw attention to the need for more dog adoptions. So
this is not to be associated with purchasing a puppy.
Yeah,
it's
everyone
only adopting them.
Everyone is supposed to show off their puppies on social media today to shame people into adopting dogs, I think is the idea.
As two people who purchased their dogs, you and I.
Yeah, well, one of the two. I actually have 2 rescues and 2 purchased.
Okay, got you. Well,
at this point.
To be clear, you did not rescue the rescues.
Well, I rescued that one.
Bella?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I didn't pay for Bella.
How did you rescue a toy Aussie? How does that happen?
The breeder had some serious friggin' issues.
Oh.
Yeah, and was like putting them out in a box. Couldn't tell you.
You know what? You bring up a very good point. I'm out here assuming that every designer dog was purchased. There are some designer dogs.
Oh,
like a toy Aussie.
I'm sure quite often designer dogs go into
foreclosure,
mismanagement, and end up on the streets and stuff and get rescued just like other dogs.
I do support people adopting dogs. I think it's a very good thing. If you foster dogs, it's another great way you can help out the stray population.
What'd you say about poor people?
What?
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything about poor people.
Oh, I don't know what you just said then. I've totally misheard you. I was like, what the fuck? God.
Shouts to everybody out there adopting dogs, fostering dogs.
Oh, I found a bit on nationaltoday.com about today. It says founder Colleen Page's mission is to help galvanize the public to recognize the number of dogs that need to be rescued each year. It's also an excellent opportunity to show off your dog's supermodel side and give them some extra cuddles for all the joy they bring. So sit back and indulge in the endless stream of adorable puppy photos, but keep in mind that today might be the best excuse to bring home your own fluffy canine as your next best friend. Hashtag Year of the Dog. I added the hashtag. Since I have perma puppies, I will continue my daily tradition of splattering them all over social media in honor of National Puppy Day. Jared, the best thing about having a puppy is the endless cuteness and the puppy vibes. But the worst thing about having a puppy is that they ruin your life for months.
I did the smartest...
People don't talk about that enough.
No, not at all. The best time when you get a puppy is when you are at the breeder about to take it home, because it can poop and piss and vomit, and it's not your problem until you get it in the car.
Yeah. Once it's in the car, that's when the ride begins. Now, it's worth it.
Yes, 100%.
Every time. Every time. I've done it a few times. It's worth it every time. But it's hell.
Yep. Especially if you have a dog breed that's more prone to being really annoying.
And high energy, needy, some might call my dogs.
Yeah, so
mine are the most high maintenance I've ever run into. They're fucking insane. Something's wrong with both of them.
Smartest thing I've ever done is we picked up our dog, Millie, at 11 weeks instead of 8 weeks. Could not recommend this enough. Because
gave it a few more weeks to...
If it's a breeder trainer...
Bake in the oven, huh?
If it's a breeder trainer hybrid, then they're training your dog for free for 3 weeks and cleaning up the piss and shit and staying up all night with it for those extra 3 weeks. By the time you get the dog, it's still a beautiful, fluffy little puppy. You just had it trained for you, and you had it not ruin your life.
Well, this is also a great reason to rescue an older dog.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That has already been trained.
That might be, like, for National Puppy Day, part of it is saying, like, hey, you should not get a puppy.
Well, all dogs were puppies at one point. It's an important thing to remember.
When does this dog stop being a puppy?
I don't know, because mine are 8 years old, and they're still puppies to me. 8 and 9. Bruce is 9, dude.
Those are not puppies.
9! What the hell happened to my life? I'm getting old. Anyway, National Puppy Day. Speaking of National Puppy Day and the Year of the Dog, today's episode is also brought to you by Birddogs. Hey, we have a new code. It's Ross by the way. Just to clear up any confusion, Birddogs making the most comfortable shorts in the world with a built-in underwear you know and love for living life and making love. It's like, why wear shorts with underwear when you can wear even better shorts with built-in underwear, thus creating less laundry, thus saving the planet, making you a hero who is also better looking and more comfortable, Jared. They're Birddogs, you silly bastard. But did you know they make pants as well for the winter months and when it's cold? Not just when it's cold, really. You can wear the joggers any time of year, They're very breathable, very comfortable, and they remove the need for underwear.
Yeah, the built-in liner is the best thing ever. I have big, thick, juicy, meaty...
You have man legs.
Bulgy thighs, and they rub together.
Large legs.
They like to rub together, and a lot of times with a lot of pairs of underwear, it'll like ride them up my legs, and then I look like I'm wearing little tiny Speedo. The point being, Birddogs built-in underwear does not ride up on your legs. And so, it's a great alternative if you have big, meaty thighs.
What's more, for being an RBP listener, when you use the code ROSS at checkout on birddogs.com, Birddogs is giving away free whistling footballs like the Nerf football you grew up with and loved, but it's a Birddogs whistling football like the one behind Jared right now if you're watching on YouTube. Use code ROSS when you check out on birddogs.com to support the podcast and secure your free whistling football with your order. Jared, have you seen the new Batman movie?
No.
It's called The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz, whom is daughter of rock legend Lenny Kravitz.
Wait, I didn't know there was another famous Kravitz. I thought it was just Lenny and Zoe.
That's her.
Did you say Zoe? Wait.
Zoe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, you said Joey.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman. No, it's Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. What's wrong with your ears?
I don't know.
God, get them checked
My
out.
bad.
Anyway, I saw it over the weekend, and after viewing it, I tweeted. This is not going to be like some spoiler-riddled segment, so, I'll keep it clean as I can. But I tweeted, Batman being completely bulletproof, point-blank period, is a little whack without some sort of explanation. And hardcore Batman nerds on Twitter are freaking out on me, man. So I guess the one spoiler I will offer up here is that he is shot no less than 1,000 times in this film, repeatedly at point blank range with a fucking 12 gauge shotgun. And he's like hobbled. He's like, fuck me, that hurt a little. And then he gets up and beats the shit out of the guy with his own gun or whatever. And it's just like, what the fuck? It just, so like just the amount of times this has been quote tweeted alone. I'll read you the quote tweets. It's fictional armor. Yeah, sure, but like some degree of realism to our fiction is what makes it good.
That's
right?
the stakes involved. Like, Batman might die.
Right? You're telling me he can just run around willy-nilly. Doesn't matter. Massive fucking hole for his eyes and his face, by the way. Kid's wearing eye black. He's emo Batman. There's another spoiler. Somebody fucking put every time and then posted a photo that says adults struggle desperately with fiction, demanding constantly that it conform to the rules of everyday life. Adults foolishly demand to know how Superman can possibly fly or how Batman can possibly run a multi-billion-dollar business empire during the day and fight crime at night when the answer is obvious even to the smallest child.
Okay.
Because it's not real.
This person hates adults. Was that perhaps...
Grant Morrison, Super Gods, What Masked Vigilantes, Miraculous Mutants, and a Sun God from Smallville Can Teach Us About Being Human. Who the fuck writes that book? Grant Morrison is the answer.
Okay. See, I was going to guess...
But that's what this dude hit me with.
I thought it was Greta Thunberg because she hates adults.
It's Thunberg.
How dare you?
This other guy said it's called being rich. Other guy said, don't care, looks cool, less exposition is better. People are just like, I'm stupid. Spoon feed me fucking just gunfire. Jared, he's a tank?
Why did one person say it's called
Jared,
being rich?
a fucking bomb goes off. He's standing next to it, and he's fine. Jared, he can't, and here's my complaint is that, fine, if you're going to do that, fine, but give me some explanation. I don't need a full 30-minute scene. All right, let me continue to go through these. It's fine. Batman is like Bond and operates based on what's cool rather than what's realistic. How the fuck? Bond is out there putting his ass on the line, man. beating asses, getting scarred up and scraped up and have bullet wounds and shit. He's worn down and old.
And he still has time to fuck.
And drink. Although his liver is decrepit. Bond is as realistic as it gets. What the fuck is he talking about? Next guy says, he's a super rich dude with cool tech. They did this already in the Nolan series. Over-explained everything. He's Batman, he's cool, that's it. Bullshit. Bullshit. You're telling me I can take everything from every other Batman movie and assume that fucking applies here? That's insane. And I look, I get what they're doing with this movie, just to give you a bit of context here. He's very young Batman. He's been at it a couple years. He doesn't really know what he's doing yet, and nobody gives him any respect yet. He hasn't accomplished anything great. He's just a fucking weirdo. Everybody's like, what's this guy's deal? He's dressed as a fucking bat. It's like a very realistic view of if that happened today. Like, we'd all be like, what? He's wearing a fucking cape? He's just working with the police? What?
We need to bring back capes, though.
Capes are dope.
Capes are
Vampires do capes, too.
Question, what is the purpose of a cape?
Every time I see him walking around with the cape on, I'm like, God, that looks stupid. I want one.
Because it has drag, so it'll slow you down if you're running. It looks cool behind you. What I'm trying to think, like,
people automatically assume there's something seriously wrong with you, though. And there is something seriously wrong with you, though.
If you have a cape?
If you have a cape on.
Except,
something has gone wrong. Even if that's right for you, society looks at the cape and goes, what happened?
I know two things about capes, Ross. Number one, not all heroes wear them.
Okay.
Not all heroes wear capes.
What's the second thing you know about capes?
I've seen videos of people like jumping off bridges, like low bridges, like to dive into the water, and they're wearing capes. They look really cool when you're falling. They look really cool in the air behind you when you're falling.
True enough. And when you're jumping long distances, that looks cool. Yeah. I get why Superman had one. Looks dope when you fly. Batman, you're just walking around with a cape on, bro. Like a vampire. Bat. Oh, shit. Is that the connection?
I don't know.
Is Batman a little vampiric in his garb? I think that's it. I think I just unraveled one of the great mysteries of the superhero universe.
I think
you're looking at me like I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh, I think a lot of superheroes wear capes. Not all superheroes wear capes, but I think a lot of them do.
Whatever, Jared. Next comment is how Batman doesn't have half of his face not covered by his mask blown off when he's less than a yard from a bomb is a bigger question. Yes, I agree. Thank you for one supportive comment. Next dude said he's a billionaire who built super cool armor. Why are so many people willing to not only accept this, but go to bat for it?
I don't like the argument that he's rich, therefore he cannot be killed. I hope that's not true. There's a lot of rich people who I think should die.
Your brain can just fill in, it's like a tech advanced thing. Okay. No, fuck that. That's ridiculous. The stakes, as you mentioned, are the important piece of the puzzle to me. And if the man can simply not be killed if he's wearing his bat suit, which appears to be the case considering he took a bomb to the face and was fine, unscathed, unscarred.
No scathing at all?
No scathing, not a bit of scathe. Unfucking real. Somebody said he's wearing like 80 pounds of armor. He's a monster truck that walks like a man. Reenactors in Gothic full plate have more mobility than Battinson.
Are we calling him Robert Pattinson now?
He has a lot of mobility. I watched this man kung fu beat the shit out of people for 14 hours on Saturday. The movie's 14 hours long.
How long is it actually, though?
3 hours long.
That's way too long.
Very, very excessively, ridiculously long. It could be 2:30, easy. Not like, yeah, I could see how they'd struggle to get it down. No, 30 minutes I could cut out, and I'm a fucking idiot.
Is there an intermission?
No, there's not an intermission. What year do you think it is?
I think that whenever a movie is longer than 3 hours, it needs an intermission. You don't expect people at a play. You do not expect people at a play to hold their piss in their bladder for 3 hours. Why can you expect somebody at a movie? There's no difference. They're actually drinking more. They're drinking ices. They're drinking cherry cokes. They're housing Bunch of Crunch. They're sticking
Drip, drip, drip.
Mike and Ike's up their butthole.
Somebody said counterpoint. No, it's not. Good argument, jackass. Somebody said, what explanation do you need other than he has armor? That explanation alone would have sufficed. They don't provide that explanation. He just puts on the fucking suit. You don't even really... They leave out the billionaire playboy side of his life and really the whole Wayne Manor thing entirely. Isn't he wearing some high-tech armor? I guess they should explain that better. Yeah, they should. Somebody said, no, they shouldn't. What? Why not? Somebody said, it's DJ Crime Dog. He keeps a bunch of loose change in his tights. His dad would go to Coinstar, but bats keep upwards of $12,000 in small change on his person at all times. What?
What the fuck, DJ Crime Dog?
Oh.
So I shouldn't see this movie or what?
Having money for prototypical armor and tech is his superpower, Ross. Fine. Just saying, Batman is literally fucking bulletproof. At one point in the movie, Catwoman like pulls out a gat to just end somebody, to just fucking pop one, and he goes, "No guns." Yeah, easy to say for the guy who can't be hurt by guns.
Yeah, that's not really noble of him.
Pop that fool.
That's really not noble of him.
No guns. Dude, we get why you're anti-guns, but everybody else here needs gats. They are strapped to the teeth, the enemy. No guns. No condoms. No protection. That's Batman's whole thing, man. A lot of illegitimate children.
Does Robert Pattinson talk like that in the movie?
Like this. He doesn't do like, it's not full Christian Bale, but it's like, look, I'm not a teenager anymore, but I'm still trying to find my voice. He's not like, and he says this a lot. He's like, vengeance. I am vengeance. There are multiple laugh out loud lines where you're like, what? This is one of the lines that could have been cut right there. I am vengeance. He reiterates that like 14 times in the 3.5 hours that you're there.
Is this movie worth seeing?
Yes. I give it a solid 4 or 5. It was good.
You can't.
It was tight. It was a new look. It was like they totally went at Batman from a totally different angle, and it was creative and it was cool and it's like noir and it's solid. But it was not like everything that I think a lot of people are making it out to be. Like, it's great. It's not even fucking close to Batman Begins: The Dark Knight. No. No. It's not close. Not like, oh, we could talk. No. There's no conversation to be had. It's not fucking close. There was no depth to Bruce Wayne. Here's one argument I will make to the counter. You could see how they set this up to be a very long-standing series. I think at least 3 movies are coming. And that being said, it's a great part 1. If that's the goal. And maybe it will, and like, that's what I'm saying, is this could age extremely, extremely well. But as an individual film, I walk out of there like, okay, what the fuck? Vengeance.
Okay. So
I guess there was some level of vengeance enacted.
So you're saying that if this is meant to be a 3-parter, it was a good part 1, just like how World War I was a phenomenal setup to the incoming World War III.
Yeah,
I am pumped.
What? And it was kind of a slog, much like World War I too, where you know you're down in the trenches with this one, man. It draws it out of you. You really got to win.
They still use mustard gas, like the mustard gas years.
It's fucked up. Yeah.
Here's the thing about why would you simply
slow tanks? You know,
you just simply don't breathe in the mustard gas and you take it out of the air and you put it on your hot dog, your trench dog.
Look, if the rules of Batman's universe apply, that would work here, because apparently he's just fucking bulletproof. I'm so irate about this, dude. Like, I've seen Batman deflect bullets and shit, I get it, but not like somebody walks up with an AK and empties a full clip into his back, which is pretty much what happens in this film.
He gets a back shot?
Multiple shotguns to the face and butt. He's being shot from every direction simultaneously and just like whooping ass to whoever that was that argued, oh, look how slow he is because of the armor. No, fuck that. This guy's ass kicking. He's doing it. Anyway, solid movie. Great part 1 if that's the goal. Individual film, strange. Pattinson, weird. Joey Kravitz, phenomenal.
Joey Kravitz. I might have to go see this now, but obviously...
Riddler was tight.
Okay. Who played Riddler?
The dude from my favorite movie ever, There Will Be Blood. He's the priest.
Bardem.
He's the priest. What? No. Javier Bardem is in No Country for Old Men.
Oh, oops.
Love that movie too, though. There Will Be Blood is the I've abandoned my boy.
Yep.
I've abandoned my child.
I drink your milkshake.
The dude that makes him yell the things I just yelled is the guy who plays the Riddler. He's a little priest guy.
Rickety Cricket?
Nope. What?
Oh, you
Sure.
don't watch It's Always Sunny. Well, I'm gonna go to the movie theater.
No.
Maybe this weekend.
Okay.
I'm gonna see Batman again, but obviously I'm gonna need some food because it's a really long movie.
Yeah, it's a meal movie for sure.
I'll get a trench dog with extra mustard gas.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, but you're going to need the whole weekend, so block it off because it's that long and dark. And that's my review of The Batman and my complaints about him being freaking utterly bulletproof. Not a chip, not a scratch, much like these Felix Gray Glasses that I'm wearing. And today's episode, coincidentally, is brought to you by Felix Gray Glasses. 5 years ago, Felix Gray set out to create eyewear that would improve daily screen time, and since then, Felix Gray has been on a mission to create a better relationship with technology. Their lenses filter 15 times more blue light that can make screen time tough on eyes and disruptive to sleep. I've been working on the internet for over a decade now, spending like 10 hours a day staring at screens, and my eyes get worn the hell out. And when I'm done with work, I like to relax by watching my favorite shows and movies and gaming, all of which involve screens. So a few years ago when I was introduced to Felix Gray's, everything changed. These glasses are the quality of designer frames. This isn't some cheap blue light coating painted over them that's going to chip off. That never happens. There's no chipping, no cheapness, just incredible quality designer frames that are stylish and functional as they protect your eyes from all the blue light that screens we rely upon emit. There is no cutting back on screen time if you're like me. Jared and I are trying, though. We try our best.
I'm failing bad.
It's hard, though, so you can do your eyes a solid and get yourself some Felix Grays to get relief from those headaches, dry eyes, blurry vision, and what have you that occurs with the course of your workday. I have like 6 pairs right now. I'm wearing the West on my face. I love them. I love the Faraday and the Nash as well. So spend the rest of 2022 with more comfortable eyes and Felix Gray. Use our URL, felixgrayglasses.com/RBP to support the show and get free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges. Non-prescription and prescription are available. They have the sleepy time glasses. Barrett just got himself a pair for nighttime to help your eyes wind down and actually help you get to sleep better. Check them out now, felixgrayglasses.com/RBP. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/RBP for free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges. felixgrayglasses.com/RBP.
Grab your light, this is Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Today's Stuff to Wikipedia when you're high is the Pong Su Incident, which, J-Bone, you sent this one to me.
I did.
Because you actually watched a documentary on it?
Yeah.
Of sorts?
I believe it was like a mini Vice documentary, about 10 minutes long.
Would you say that's means for a,
Docking with Jared. We're docking. Yeah, I was. I go down a lot of YouTube rabbit holes now. I don't know why I pay for these streaming services. I typically just watch YouTube all the time. It's bad.
You've become a true millennial. Piece of shit.
It is unbelievable. In the last 6 months, I go on
TikTok
TikTok
and
and YouTube all the time. It is awful. I understand why the kids are so addicted.
Yeah, I get
think
it.
we all addicted
Sure.
to TikTok. TikTok. Okay. Anyways, the Pong Su Incident. Here's the reason why I sent it to Ross.
Yeah.
Seems right up our alley
Yeah.
because it involves drugs,
Sure does.
smuggling the drugs,
and governments, potentially. Which is
the Hermit Kingdom of North Korea.
So I'm going to read this story to you from Wikipedia, the world's online encyclopedia.
Mm-hmm.
Support Wikipedia. And I want you to jump in with your documentary knowledge, if you can.
Yeah.
You know? So, on the night of April 15th, 2003, Australian federal police conducted surveillance on two people who rendezvoused with a boat called the Pong Su close to shore at Boggley Creek near the seaside town of Wye River in Victoria and followed them to a nearby hotel. The next morning, the two suspects were apprehended after leaving the hotel and were in possession of two packages containing 110 pounds. That's 50 kilograms of pure heroin. A third suspect was arrested later that day in nearby Geelong.
Okay, so I can add a little bit of documentary knowledge in here. So what happened was this. Australian federal police got knowledge from an informant within the Pong Su camp who said, hey, there's some drug smuggling on the Pong Su. You should keep surveillance on it because they're going to be smuggling drugs into your country. So they already knew. They were following.
They knew to look for these guys.
Yeah, there was the landing party, which is these three guys who were getting drunk and gambling in Australia, being total idiots, like acting like they couldn't possibly get
in trouble.
Right. Then they went and rendezvoused with the smugglers of drugs, brought the drugs on shore. Were watched the whole time. Police arrested them with the drugs.
It says the following day, in search of the beach at Boggley Creek, police discovered the body of a man of East Asian appearance close to a dinghy and covered by seaweed. He had been part of a two-man landing party from the Pong Su, but has never been identified. The dinghy had suffered fuel problems in the surf and had capsized, landing the heroin, drowning one of the crew. On the same day, the second man from the landing party was apprehended in the immediate area by Victoria police. He had been unable to get back to his boat and simply remained in the area where the drugs had landed the night before. The AFP stated that they had been working on Operation Sorbet for several months, including with international peers. I like the name, Operation Sorbet.
It's a weird one for me.
Maybe they're just like, Chief, what's your favorite ice cream? All right, that's it. In May 2003, the same year, a further 165 pounds, that's 75 kilograms of heroin in 3 packages were discovered buried near Wye River after a search which followed coordinates from a seized GPS device. An additional 55 pounds of heroin had been lost during the landing.
So there's a fun rumor about this area of Australia that said that in the months and years following the Pong Su incident, there were some people who had some randomly nice bikes, nice cars, and people were like, wow, I wonder how they afforded that. There's an idea that some local fishermen stumbled upon the heroin and
then just distributed
sold
it.
Yeah.
On the morning of April 17th, a Tasmanian police patrol vessel directed the Pong Su to head for Melbourne after it had traveled east, entering the Bass Strait. In the afternoon, the Pong Su advised that it would head for Sydney and was directed to head for Eden. New South Wales police patrol vessels became involved. In the morning of the April 18th, Pong Su changed direction to the east away from Australia toward international waters at a speed with a police vessel having to terminate the pursuit due to rough weather. In the evening, Navy warship HMAS began tracking the Pong Su. In the morning of April 20th, after a 4-day chase, Stewart intercepted the Pong Su 35 nautical miles southeast of Newcastle, with the Pong Su complying with most directions.
It was like a full-on, they had helicopters drop Navy people onto the ship.
It says Army Special Operations Tactical Assault Group West-East operators boarded by simultaneously fast roping onto the deck from a Seahawk helicopter and from climbing the side onto the deck from 3 rigid hull inflatable boats, RHIBs, with the crew compliant.
Yeah, one time Ross and I actually simultaneously fast roped.
Yeah, it's true. We did. The Pong Su was secured and brought into port in Sydney. Searches of the ship by Australian authorities revealed it had been modified for long voyages and was carrying enough fuel and provisions to travel around the world without needing to enter the port.
That's wild.
Or a port. Some 30 men were arrested and detained. It was alleged that the North Korean government was involved in the manufacture and trade of the drugs. The North Korean government stated the ship was a, quote, civilian trading ship, end quote, and the ship's owner had no knowledge of the illegal cargo. The 3 men arrested on shore pleaded guilty to aiding and abetting the importation of commercial quantity of heroin. They denied that they were part of the ship's crew, also denied that they were Korean, instead claiming to be from either Malaysia or Singapore. 3 men were Kiem Pha Tang, a Malaysian national, and apparently the only one of the 3 to use his real name. He had taken the job as a member of the drug courier syndicate in order to repay business debts to loan sharks. He got 22 years imprisonment. Yao Kim Lam, who claimed to be a Chinese national originally from Shenyang and to have more recently lived in Cambodia and Malaysia, he had entered Australia on a false Malaysian passport and got 23 years imprisonment. Wee Kai Tan, who had entered Australia using a stolen passport in the name of Chen Quang Lee, previously arrested and jailed in Denmark for heroin trafficking before escaping from Danish prison in 2001 and returning to Bangkok. He got 24 years in prison. Also pleading guilty was the surviving man from the landing party,
And this is the most interesting one.
Ta Song Wong, who claimed to be a Chinese national of ethnic Korean descent. The prosecution argued he was actually the person named on ship records as Kim Sung Bom, although this may have been another pseudonym. Sentenced to 23 years in prison, when released from prison in 2019, he was issued with a North Korean passport and deported to North Korea.
So North Korea always denied they were involved with this, but finally they were like, okay, fine, this guy is a North Korean national. Send him back to us, where he was summarily executed, they believe.
Oh, unfortunate.
And so on Vice, they like interviewed this guy because he was in Australia as recently as 2019. So they got an interview with him and like talked to him a little bit. I don't think he said too much, but then they shipped him back to North Korea, and he is just believed to have moved immediately, just like
They're like, all right, welcome back. Boom.
Yep, that's what they say.
In 2019, Ta Sa Wong and Yao Kim Lam were released on parole, issued with North Korean passports, and deported to North Korea. Tang was deported to his home country of Malaysia, while as of 2019, Wee K Tan remained in custody at Phao Hom Correctional Center near Sale, Victoria. On March 2nd, 2004, the United States Department of State released a report using the incident to link Kim Jong-il's government to drug trafficking.
Yeah, so this is Kim Jong-il, so Kim Jong-un's dad, that guy, right?
Right.
So that's the whole thing is this incident showed, I believe, that North Korea was so down bad that they were literally heroin trafficking into Australia and not even doing it very well because they had informants. They had one of their two guys in charge of moving the heroin from the ship to sea drown.
Yeah.
And they immediately, like, literally were under surveillance before they even got there. That's the worst thing. The dude drowned. One of the two guys just drowned, and then they covered him in
made
seaweed.
to do this too. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh man, what a bummer.
So North Korea, not good at drug trafficking.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh, a really interesting thing. If you watch this documentary, so they have video of the entire siege of the ship. Like I said, they weren't like shooting back or anything, but they were like trying to evade, realized they couldn't, let them on the ship, and so they were in the bridge. They were in the bridge of the
I was
ship.
gonna say the helm.
I think it's bridge.
Okay.
They were in the bridge and they're in there and they just hear beep 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 boop boop beep 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 beep
It's like a
beep.
bomb's about to go off to me.
Okay, no, it was not a bomb. What it was this is North Korea, right? They don't have access to like technology. It was Morse code. So they had it was like
Two dots and a dash, baby.
it was a Morse code station, and so they looked at the messages that were sent. The last message sent was like, "They're descending on the ship with helicopters. We're fucked." So that was the last message sent. And what they had was they brought in some Navy guy who was like a Navy communications expert who he's like honestly, we haven't used Morse code. Like I learned it in training, but like I haven't done this shit in forever. Like I don't even know. He's like trying to read it, and you can see him on the camera like, this is the fastest Morse code ever. Like these North Koreans are fluent in Morse code because I can't even like discern it fast enough. So I imagine eventually they probably just had the recording of it,
Yeah.
and then send it to somebody to like slow down and shit. But
Some Morse code expert.
the North Koreans speaking Morse code. Beep 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 beep.
Anyway, that was today's Stuff to Wikipedia when you're high, and also you just gonna do it?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh man. Oh, Jared, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
If it were medieval times, like knights, and so no electricity, no cars, knights in armor and dragons and shit,
I
okay?
don't think they had dragons.
Whatever. What do you think your profession would be? So not Dragon Slayer. Like realistically, what do you think your profession would be if you were born in the medieval times? Like what would you do to make money?
Assuming I'm not of nobility, right? I can't just say king.
Sure, yeah, no, you're a serf.
Okay. Well, I'm not a serf. I could be
You're a serf. You and I are going to be serfs. There's no internet, so all the skills you and I have are useless.
Okay. I'm
What do we
picturing
do?
we are citizens of Flea Bottom, Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
right? Large
okay,
city,
sure. That's a
but
serf.
it's a medieval city. Well, I think a serf is more of a field tiller, tending the crops and the animals.
You wank your way, I'll wank mine.
I would be the local chef, potentially cooking for the
Oh, a
king.
cook. That
Cook.
suits you.
Thank you.
Okay. I like that. Fuck. I think I'd have to work in I think I'd have to be like a writer, dude. I think I had a
A
what?
scribe. You're a scribe.
No.
Because
I'm talking like a Shakespeare type. Like I'd have to write.
No, I think you'd be a cobbler.
What is it? A cobble. What?
A cobbling is a shoemaker.
A mix shoes. I could see that.
Potentially a haberdasher.
I like shoes. I could make a shoe.
Could be a haberdasher.
I could sew leather, and do what it took to make shoes.
And
just
you
really
could make
slowly.
them be the original Kanye. Just like put a bunch of shit out there and it looks terrible, but you're like, this is
I
fashion.
just hype the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
With my music too.
Get like the Mountain to wear them.
So you want me to rap too? I'd be a musician /
bard.
cobbler.
You could be a bard. You would have been the bard.
Cobbler bard. Bard cobbler. Which one sounds better?
The cobbler bard, Ross Bolen.
Cobbler bard. Yeah, I like that.
He'll make you laugh and he'll sing a song with his lute and he'll make you some shoes.
If you had to be an animal in your next life, there's going to be when you die, you're going to be reborn as an animal, but it cannot be a dog. So everybody's like, "I'd be a dog." Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's dumb. No domesticated animal.
What would you be? No dog, no cat, no pets.
So I've thought a lot about this already. A lot about it. The only
How is that possible that you thought?
Well, because I've thought about what it means to be an apex predator.
Sure.
If you were ever going to say, "Oh, I want to be this animal," it needs to be an apex predator.
So you
do
go
not
straight to like lions, bears, tigers, crocodiles.
Sharks.
Oh my, sharks. Okay. So would you like to be a water animal or a land animal? I guess is the next place to go, right?
Does it?
Do you enjoy the ocean?
I would enjoy the ocean if I was a fucking great white shark because there's nothing that could hurt me in there.
Yeah, but I'm a sunlight guy. It's dark and cold down there.
No, what if you're in this? They're cold blooded. They like that shit.
I know. I like the hot sun on my flesh.
Okay, apex
melting
predator.
me.
I think the actual best apex predator to be, all things considered, would be a mountain lion.
I'm going gorilla. I feel like they've got a lot going on upstairs. They may be disgusting perverts who throw their feces at you and jack off at the zoo.
That sounds a lot like you, actually.
But I mean, like, I could get down with that lifestyle, frankly. So
I mean, but gorillas, do they have predators? Are there fucking gorillas getting attacked by lions?
yeah, 1,000%. They boxing and shit.
They box.
They box. They throw down.
Wait, seriously though, are gorillas an apex predator? Look that shit up. I have no.
Yeah, they are.
Are you
for
telling me
sure.
right now that has there ever been a fight between a lion or a tiger? Not a tiger, but a lion and a gorilla. That's sick.
It says, is gorilla an apex predator? No, it's a very large herbivore. Man, fuck that.
Wait,
It's an
gorillas
apex
don't eat
predator
meat?
to me, bro.
Bro, you want to be a fucking vegetarian? Pussy.
No, herbivore, dude. Doesn't that mean mixed?
No, that's omnivore.
Shit.
Yeah, you want to eat nuts and berries the rest of your life?
No. Well, I mean, sort of. I love snacking.
I am snacking.
No, don't, dude. That was the goat. That was so good. That was the greatest TikTok of all time. It was all downhill from there.
It was. I've got a question for you, bitch.
Okay. Jesus, aggressive.
This is a bit of. You gotta stay with me here.
Is your question going to be aggressive?
No, it's actually a really good question. I'm gonna set it up for people who don't know. The Masters golf tournament is coming up.
Sure.
Before every Masters, there's a dinner party that every previous Masters winner is invited to, with the most recent Masters winner
Right.
selecting the entire menu. Ross, if you won the Masters, what would your Masters dinner be? One of each: appetizer, entree, dessert, drink.
Appetizer, entree, dessert, drink.
Keeping in mind, like you want to have somewhat of a theme.
So here's my question. Here's the conundrum.
Yeah.
Is it that you're trying to provide the best quality meal possible for you and your patrons, or is it that you want it to be memorable?
See, I think
I feel like it's memorable, right?
there's two ways you can do it. You can do the balance, which is what you were saying, where it's you want to make the best experience for everybody.
Like steak, mashed potatoes,
Or you can do what
mac
the
and
fuck
cheese.
you want, like Tiger Woods did, where his appetizer was sushi and his entree was fajitas.
yeah, but that kind of goes though. Like that's it
Sushi
does.
and fajitas does not go.
Man,
I
those
love both.
Those don't conflict. Those are palatable together. I'm just saying, in theory, they are.
So
I don't think I've done it,
Okay, let me
but I can
rephrase it.
see it in my head.
What would you put together in order to make the best Masters meal, combining what your favorites are and
I mean, part of me just wants to Donald Trump that shit and get like Raising Cane's, just fast food, you know? But that's so weak. What if you did like the ultimate fast food plate though? Since we're here, you know, you get like that's also the Donald.
What are you
Trump,
gonna
though.
do?
That's what
Fucking
he did.
Arby's curly fries?
That's what he did when he had that team to the White House, man. He got like all the different fast foods.
That was
Remember that guy?
Fucking believable.
Fucking insane that actually occurred. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to.
Don't make it
like,
a bit. Don't make it a bit. Be honestly like. I'll just.
Dude, I think you know what I would do. I think I would cater like El Alma. Like I would do like my favorite Mexican restaurant in Austin. It's like supposed to be Tex-Mex, I guess. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Well, but it can't be from a specific place because they make it there. So it's got to be. It's just. This is not about what's your favorite.
Oh, you can't just bring in some shit.
No, they make it there.
They have to make it there.
What is your favorite
Fine.
appetizer?
Easy. I've got it. I do full on breakfast, dude.
Okay.
I'm doing pancakes, waffles, sausage, bacon, eggs, however you want them, scrambled, over easy, whatever you get
Fertilized.
to pick. Fucking muffins, fucking donuts, fucking kolaches.
You can have Otis Spunkmeyer double chocolate muffins.
All of the stuff that you could possibly think of for breakfast, that shit's happening.
This is actually, that would probably go down as one of the most legendary Masters dinners because I don't think I've ever done breakfast for dinner.
I've got dibs on this just in case I decide to become a professional golfer. No, I'm kidding. Somebody can have that. One of the pros can have that idea. I want a contender, somebody who's actually got a chance to ink a deal with us.
That's a really good idea. It's a very good idea.
But you can have my concept for your master's dinner, breakfast for dinner. All right?
I like that. That's smart. That would make a lot of headlines.
I wonder if anybody's done that yet.
There's no way.
Should, dude. I'm
Breakfast.
so fucking smart.
I got another question.
Yeah?
What is a take that you have that you completely stand by, but you don't ever say it because society will shame you for it because they won't actually understand why you have that take? Do you want me to give you my example so you can like frame yours
Hate
around
the
it?
Jews. That's my...
These are real questions though.
Yeah, okay.
I can give you my example if you want, if that would help you.
Yeah, sure.
I think Donald Trump was completely correct in trying to purchase Greenland from Denmark.
Okay.
That would have been that would have been the best land purchase in the history of the United States because
I agree with that. It was a land purchase, we weren't invading anybody.
a purchase because for two reasons. Number one,
If something's for sale and you buy it, you know,
it wasn't for sale, but he wanted to make it for sale.
but you can shoot your shot.
It's got the third largest supply of fresh water anywhere in the world. We're going to have a water shortage eventually. And when the glaciers melt, the Northwest Passage is going to be the new biggest shipping lane in the world because it goes direct from Asia to Europe without using the Panama Canal.
You should be a dictator, Jared.
I would be a great dictator. I might take over northern Canada.
That's long-term strategy right there.
It is.
That's
which
called-
is why Denmark should never give that up because that could literally become one of the most valuable pieces of land in the world.
I'm sure they fucking know, Jared.
I don't know. They're Danish. No offense to the Danes out there. Shouts to Kevin Magnuson.
You don't think they're smart because they're beautiful?
I've been there. They are beautiful people.
Huh.
I've been to Schopenhaven.
What was the question?
Oh yeah, what's a take that you have that you stand by, but you don't ever publicly say it because it makes you that makes me sound dumb. Donald Trump was right in wanting to buy Greenland. They're like, what the fuck? Then I explain it. They're like, oh
Yeah, here's one. I had that hot pot over the weekend.
yeah, shabu shabu.
Man, it was too complicated. I didn't enjoy. I had a good time. Here's the thing: experience, phenomenal. Food, take it or leave it. That's a lot of work for not a ton of orgasm, like in foodgasm. You know what I mean?
So your take is that shabu shabu hot pot restaurants are too much work. Is your take in general
I just thought I was gonna be like, there was pieces of the meal that were orgasmic, like the sausage. My God.
Oh, that chicken sausage there
But
is so fucking
there was
good.
a lot of vegetables I was cooking in this hot pot in front of me. It was just I still fucking smell it in my facial hair. It's in my clothes, my whole goddamn closet. My girl's hair, bro, it's permanent, I think. She's going to smell like a hot pot forever now. I got to deal with this.
I love that restaurant though. If you've never been to a shabu shabu place, I will actually say, Ross, I completely understand. It's a bad take.
Is that what is shabu shabu?
Yeah, it's like the hot pot you dip your...
Yeah, it was crazy as hell. It was super fun. I liked it. You know what? I'll say this. Experience-wise, I liked it more than the place where you go and there's a big hot table and they cook in front of you. What's that called?
Hibachi.
I liked it more than
Teppanyaki?
hibachi. I thought it was like my own personal do-it-yourself hibachi. I thought it was cool as shit.
But you thought the taste was worse than hibachi?
But I like hibachi food more.
Because
Yeah.
you're not making it and you think you're a bad cook.
Yeah, that was a huge part of it. I gotta fucking time this shit. Are you serious? I'm having a conversation with 3 other people and the waitress, and I gotta time this shit. Somebody comes by every 10 seconds to ask how I'm doing. I gotta time this shit. My brain resets every minute and a half, bro. Some of it's 3 minutes, some of it's a minute and a half. Next thing you know, you're burning the cabbage.
This is ultra niche, but the 3 sauces they have at Dip Tatsuya are orgasmic. They have the gomodare, the sesame
the sauce
sauce
part was dope.
the sukiyaki,
Look,
which has like the egg yolk in it.
I just feel like the food should have been better, and I'm just saying it. That's a take I'm not proud of, and one that I don't want to share. And I'm doing it though because your stupid ass question.
Did you have the hot chili crisp?
What was that?
The chili, it's like the chili oil in the little pot.
Yeah,
You
for sure.
They have the best chili crisp in the
Ooh, that
world
was
there.
delicious stuff there.
Unbelievable. You have a question for me?
Would you be willing to have one panic attack a week for the rest of your life in exchange for being able to dunk a basketball until you're 45?
No. Not even close.
Really?
I am so unathletic.
I think I would do it.
To be able to dunk, would you start going to the gym and playing like competitively?
Okay, if I could get in a time machine and go back to being 15, then yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I'm gonna get like a college scholarship out
Well,
of it,
plus,
shit.
because I think if you spaced out all the panic attacks I've ever had, like that'd be just about the same amount. If you have one per week for the rest of my life, versus the shitstorm I endured from 18 to 24 or whatever when it was just panic attack, or 21 to 25, I guess. One after the other. Fucking madness.
I mean, I would exchange it for something else, not to dunk a bat. I'm so unathletic that like dunking a basketball doesn't do anything for me.
Okay, if someone took your dog hostage, all right,
Shit.
and the police could not help, you're the dog, Jared, and you got a tip out there as to where Millie was, and the cops were like, sorry, we can't do anything. Would you go full vigilante, like super half-Jewish John Wick style to rescue her? Like, what would your move be?
That's crazy.
You know where she is. She's in a house. She's 4 blocks away.
Do I know anything about the potential kidnappers?
All you know is that they've asked for ransom. They're trying to set this up for money, not a reward. Ransom. It's like they want $50,000, and now you got to make a decision.
Okay, I don't. Why can the police not help?
You don't know. Maybe this person's protected.
Oh shit. I would do one of those things they do where
You got no proof the dog's there, but you know.
Okay.
And late at night, you sneak by the house. You're in the street. You're listening, and you can hear the faint bark of Millie, and that's how you know she's in there.
Okay. I mean, I would stake out first. First thing I do is stake out, see if I can ever get the house alone and break in and take the dog.
Like if he leaves
Yeah.
and leaves her there. Okay, so you try that first.
That's the
probably
first
takes
thing.
up 2 days.
Yeah,
He's
2
not
days.
stupid enough to leave, so
But
he
there's
doesn't.
always somebody there. They're always doing the watch because they know.
They know.
They know. Next thing I do, and this is a smart one. I enlist all of my Twitter followers and podcast listeners who live in Austin or in the nearby area, and we do a picket line
Outside?
and we all make signs. We hold them up. It says "Free Millie, Save Millie."
Okay.
And I call in local news stations.
Weird move, but okay.
Call in local news stations, and then the second the news station leaves, we all leave because like it's all we're
You're
just there
not
for
worried
the media.
he's going to hurt the dog when you're doing this whole fucking song and dance out
No,
there?
why would he hurt the dog? And he's not gonna get the ransom.
He's a dog kidnapper.
He's not getting the ransom though.
Now he's going to prison. It's not a smart move. I'm just telling you.
What would you do? Go
As a
fucking murder
former
him? You
dog
kill him?
kidnapper, we don't like it when you do that shit.
Would you kill him?
I'm not joking. If somebody took Bruce and Bella and I knew where they were, ooh.
You would not kill them.
No, but I'd go full half-Jewish John Wick on their ass. For sure.
Or would you beat him up?
I would definitely stake the house out first to see what I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to know what you're dealing with.
You have to know.
It's important to know what you're dealing with, folks. You can't just storm in like a fucking superhero who's got... You're not the Battinson, okay? You don't have a fucking bulletproof armor on. You got to prepare. So you got to see what you're dealing with. And then you go in there and you full on rage. You dog rage. It's not that hard. Think about your dogs dying. Now use that rage and do murder. Duh.
Maybe I would like I would mix ammonia and bleach in like a water balloon and then throw it in the window. Well, that might kill my dog though.
There's just only a few reasons that are justified for you to full on fucking get at it. Just really fuck somebody up. And I don't want to kill anybody. I don't need that on my conscience. But I would fuck somebody up if they took my dogs.
Do you think you've ever accidentally killed somebody?
No. What? Like, do I think there's somebody out there who's dead as a result of me that I don't know about?
Yes. So, for example,
No way.
For example,
No way.
let me. For example,
Okay.
I seriously want you to think about this. Let's say you're pulling out of a parking lot and there's this massive gap, but you were texting. By the time you look up, oh shit, that gap's gone. You and the car behind you can't make it. You gotta wait.
Right.
Because you waited,
That
the car
person
behind you
later
got in a
got in
car
an
crash
accident?
and died.
Yeah, for sure. I've done a lot of shit. Surely somebody butterfly effect got whacked as a result.
But the reason why that's kind of cool is like you also butterfly effect might have saved somebody. And if you don't know, you can just believe that you saved more people than you've killed
That's always been my goal. Save more people than I kill.
by way of the butterfly effect.
Every night before I go to sleep, I say my prayers and I say, "Dear Lord, please help me save more people than I kill." And he's like, "What the fuck?" You know?
That's a fucked up thing with society. Like, remember
that movie Butterfly Effect?
Yeah, didn't see it. It's like, oh, I got in the elevator. I made that person a second later. Then they're in their car a second later. And if they were a second earlier in their car, they missed the car accident. Like,
Bro, you didn't see Butterfly Effect?
No, it's not with Johnny.
It's just about this concept you're discussing.
Johnny
except
Depp.
Ashton Kutcher. Just disrespectful. It's like his only good movie aside from Just Married, which is also good. And that 70s show is good. Low key, he was funny.
Well, don't give him too much credit.
Why?
Because he's a serial killer.
Ashton Kutcher, yeah, I forgot.
As Ross, before I was a full-time host, one of my great appearances I did in 2020, we discussed.
Was that 2020?
Yes.
That feels like it was a lifetime ago.
It was either 2020 or the end of 2019. We discussed how Ashton Kutcher is a serial killer, and he has been covered up for
by saying that there was a serial killer who killed this chick he was dating.
He said he came to pick this girl up for a date, and she didn't answer the door, and so he left.
They did like a whole trial and everything.
Yes, and Ashton Kutcher was there.
And he wasn't on trial as this other guy.
And there was a YouTube commenter on the video, that podcast, who was like, how dare you accuse Ashton Kutcher of being a serial killer?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, think about it.
Okay. How much cash would it take for you to strip completely nude right now in front of me and dance for the entirety of Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River?
Okay, that's a good question, because are the cameras staying on?
Yeah.
Can anybody else ever see that footage?
No. I wouldn't be able to post it anywhere.
No, but I'm going to operate under the assumption that eventually somebody would, because you would not be able to keep that to
Only
yourself.
Bolen Media employees. We would show every single one of them during their onboarding process. And so everyone who ever works here,
realistically,
everyone who ever works for you moving forward will have to see you nude in this hypothetical now because you've made it happen that way.
But they're going to sign something to where they can't sue.
And you keep asking questions. You just give me the opportunity to add more ridiculous
Well,
stipulations.
they can't sue though, right? They can't sue
No,
for...
no. We're living in a world where that's fine for some reason.
Then realistically, $100,000.
$100,000. Wow. Okay. That's a fair price.
I think it's good enough where, like, if you say yes, then I'm like, fuck, okay. All I have to do is...
Nobody else will ever see it except people who work here. $100,000. Yeah. Okay.
It's only like 3 minutes, Cry Me a River. How do you dance to Cry Me a River?
That's why it's so funny, dude.
I'll have to start doing like interpretive dance for certain parts of it. Not like grooving.
Great song, though. JT's best IMO.
Russ, I have a question. When are you finally going to watch Formula One's Drive to Survive on Netflix?
Oh, man, I've got to get in there. I've seen a new wave of all these people getting sucked in because the new season came out. And existing Drive to Survive F1 fans making videos of their friends, like, you know, glued to the television, binge watching season 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 3.
Yeah, there's 4 seasons. 4 seasons.
I hope soon is my answer. It's like
soon.
It's a schedule pending thing at this point. Like, I pass out at like 9 p.m. every night. I just go to sleep.
They're not that long.
Yeah, that's the thing that might suck me in. That's the reason you might get me here, because I'm looking for something else to watch that is short. It's not an hour and a half an episode.
So if it's short, you'll suck it in?
Oh, God. I'm not gonna fall for that. But I'm not looking for the Batman. I'm looking for Arrested Development
Do you think Robert Pattinson's hung?
in terms of links. Do I think Robert Pattinson is hung? I have no read on him for penis size, to be honest with you.
Who do you have a read on for penis size, celebrity-wise?
Jeremy Renner.
Oh,
Hog.
really?
Yeah. Doesn't make sense, but it is what it is.
How many Ren stars to see a pic of that thing?
400,000 Rin stars. J-Bone, Formula Bone hit 100,000 followers on TikTok today. Please hit the please clap button. Back to you, Jared. Why can't you navigate this fucking board? It's been in front of you for a year now. What is wrong with you? We just bought another one of these, by the way.
Please clap.
I can't wait to hear you misfire on Formula Bone when you have one of these in there permanently.
Jesus, I fucked that up.
Anyway, 100,000 followers on TikTok for Formula Bone. It's awesome. That's more followers than we have on any other TikTok account combined. The show's obviously done great, so go listen to the latest episode of the Formula Bone F1 show wherever you listen to RBP, and follow Formula Bone everywhere at Formula Bone on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. For more from Jared. There we go, Brain.
If you like Formula One,
At Jared Borislow on Twitter.
and you
and
like this
Instagram as well.
podcast, you will like the Formula Bone F1 show. That's just how it works.
Huzzah! And if you like this podcast, you'll love our Friday ad-free episodes on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast, where every Friday Jared and I do another episode that's all new material just for our supporters on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. So get in there today. We need you. Do it for the squad. Follow us on social media as well, at the Ross Bolen Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, at Ross Bolen Pod on Twitter, J-Bone, and we will be back Friday on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. Tell your people about the show. Share our stuff on social media. Put up pictures of your dogs and tag us on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Podcast in your story. Put Year of the Dog in there. Get some merch at bolenmedia.com/shop. Support the pod that way. Tell everyone you know. Until next time, peace be with you, and also with you.